Okay, we have four, so I say we get started. Um, First item on the agenda is citizen comments or concerns. Jim, anybody else? Comments or concerns?
Just going to give you a shout out, Ben. I think you're doing a great job running the show there. You really
Thank
keep
you.
everybody up to date and motivated. That's good.
I
Keep it up.
Thanks,
agree.
Jim. Appreciate that.
I agree.
Well, I appreciate that. Okay, next item is approving the agenda. I believe there was something that someone wanted added. I think it might have been Sally who had sent me something today, maybe, and I don't know if I got it in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see if I remember.
let me see. Might be able to find it.
Right.
The tour of all Earth renewables,
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
right.
facility tour. Yes, let me add that in.
I've got one too, Ben, that just came up.
Go for it. Is it the rural electric development
The
grant?
Climate Catalyst Innovation Fund.
Okay, I'll put those two on there. Earth renewables facility tour. Okay. Well, since the two people who wanted to add those things to the agenda are here, we're just gonna put those right at the top. But before we get into anything else, added two items. We have anything else? Or are we good? Just those two? I think it was just those two. Um, okay, and then approval of the August meeting minutes. I would entertain a motion to approve the August meeting minutes.
I move.
I have one
Yes.
from Richard, second from Sally. All in
Yeah.
favor?
Yes, aye.
All right. Unanimous approval. Thanks. Okay, now we get to the fun stuff. Let's do Climate Catalyst Innovation Fund. Richard, you want to walk us through that one? I know I briefly looked at that, but I don't know if it got to the rest of the group.
I did send it out quite late. There was an article in the Addy Independent that requests for proposals have opened up from the Center for Rural Development, I think, and they can be anywhere from 500 to a few $1,000s. And one of the things that I was thinking about, and I don't know if this would be accepted, but I wonder if we could apply to them for funding for the pollinator pathway between Shaw's and Walgreens, and or if anybody has any other ideas, I sent the link and you can look at it. It's intended to um, support local Vermonters that are working toward reducing energy use, improving climate resiliency, and supporting communities working together in the face of a changing climate. So, and there are other bullet points, but I don't know, it might be a stretch, but if we do get to install the level 3 chargers, we really need to make that a much more commodious walkway, I think. And the question would be, where would we get funding to do that? This might be the answer.
Yeah, my initial reaction was that I agree. I think it's a good fit potentially for that. I wonder if even it, because I know we'll get to it, there seems to be some slowness surrounding the level 3 charger project. So even if that gets bogged down, it might still be worth talking to. Is that Pomerlo who owns that strip?
Mhm.
Like talking to them. I don't know, maybe they have like a community engagement person or something to just say, hey, even if this takes forever, we think this could be a good opportunity anyways. It kind of fits the bill of what the grant is for, even if there weren't level 3 chargers potentially envisioned for that area behind Walgreens, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
You saw my communication with Ian um, regarding the level 2s, and he mentioned the uncertainty of the level 3s, and I got a notice that they are uncertain.
Mhm.
So um, you know, like everything else.
I think it would be a really good project just in another energy thing, and that is just pedestrians walking to town
Oh, yeah.
and having a beautiful place to go. It's a nice way to cut through from Mountain Street and that whole side of town. And yeah, I think it's a good project. I think it's a good idea.
Sure.
And you know, it is sometimes hard to get some, like the manager of Parmalo who probably lives some very far away, you know, but it's not that big of an ask. It's like, can we turn the grass into a garden? You
Yeah.
know, I
They
checked
will
it out
ask.
today. I walked by because I saw your thing,
Oh,
Richard.
good,
And
good.
yeah, both sides, green grass, just turn it into garden. Seems like it would be cool.
They will ask things like who's going to maintain it. So we'll have to,
Yeah,
have answers to that kind of thing.
yeah,
And that's legitimate.
yeah. It would
It can go
likely
bad
have to
real
be
quick.
us. Yeah.
So I don't know. Should I explore this?
I think given the timeline, right? I think it's what applications in by October, some third week of October. I think anything we can do. I mean, it seems like even though the level 3 chargers are, who knows? I think it's worth at least talking to Pomerlo if you can get somebody and just say, what do you think of this? Because I would imagine they are aware of the level 3 charger project, even if it is uncertain. And so you can just say, hey, we know this might happen, but even if it didn't, we think this is a great opportunity for the community because of all the reasons Sally said. And I mean, I don't know, Dan, maybe you can tell me, co-housing can go through that way to get to downtown?
Yeah, yeah. I just went through there 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time we're there. I
Yeah.
wouldn't commit, any of our resources to it, but I know that everyone here feels like that would be a much more pleasant experience going to our pantry called Shaw's.
Right.
Um, if we could have something there, and we've got a number of people here who have experience working on the various rain gardens and that sort of thing. And we've had pollinator pathway folks come speak to us here, and also we've got those connections as well. So, yeah, like I said, I wouldn't commit any of our folks to it, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like that got kicked off, that an occasional co-houser might be willing to come over and take care of things.
Yeah. I think it's worth doing with equal weight on both, you know, the charger and a really attractive way for customers to come to Walgreens and Shaw's,
Mhm.
you know,
I think
a
you
way to
could I
draw
think
people,
there's a
way to
good
draw people.
argument. There's a good argument to make that it could be something like similar to I know Bristol Core maintains the flower baskets with like a whole army of volunteers. And, obviously that stretch is a lot larger than, 15 flower baskets, right? But I mean, I think there's something there too. So, um, I can talk to Courtney about that. Maybe just drop a bug in her ear and see what she thinks. But in general, I still think it's a good idea to look into, Richard. I think to answer your question, that's my opinion at least.
Yeah. It looked like that application was pretty straightforward. It's not like you have to write an essay or anything. You
Right,
just fill it out. So that's
right.
great.
So I think the first step now, I did talk to Fran Putnam, uh, and she's willing to come take a look at it. So I'll
Yeah.
see when she's available, and then let David and Dan had expressed an interest in walking it with Fran. So let me see when, or mornings, first thing in the morning, good for you guys?
Usually I will be gone next week. So if it could be after next week, be great. If not, you and Dan could do it.
Well, I'm,
Maybe I could ask Ed to do it.
Yeah, he's pretty tuned into agriculture
I
and
would think so.
I don't know if he
Dan,
knows Fran, but he might.
Dan, are you available in the
Uh,
morning?
Well, I have a job, but I can often scoot away for a few minutes. So
I was thinking of like around 8 o'clock or something.
yeah,
Person.
yeah,
Let
that's
me
good.
see what Fran can do. It might be the end of the day too. Um, would work for everybody. I'll kind of see, and then we'll see. She will be the person I think who can kind of tell us what we need to propose in the
Yeah.
grant.
Yeah, she also works with someone in Bristol who is on the pollinator pathway whole thing. They did tons of work at the New Haven Church, and I've forgotten her name, but she's on the corner of Maple and West Street,
Hmm.
or close to West Street. Um, the other thing is, I think Parmelo is going to be the hardest one. So starting with Parmelo would probably be good, just to
Yeah.
get. And Debbie New finally contacted him, years ago when she was starting to do the TENS stuff. So she might have good ideas about how to actually contact him if you're having
Okay, that's
trouble.
great. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
contact her.
yeah,
Okay, thanks.
sure.
I know Ian also has um, made contact with Parmelo a number of times with their rental people because we were looking at possible spaces on their property for the level threes.
Great.
So we have a couple avenues. Okay, it may take a week, David.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Let me
out
know.
flat right now with a bunch of stuff. So,
Yeah.
but time we got to get it done by October 20th. So,
Right, right.
Okay.
okay,
That sounds good to me.
Thanks, Richard.
Yeah, thanks Richard for identifying that. And oh, I got a cat friend now. Oh yeah. He loves a lap. Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda here. Excuse me. The All Earth Renewables facility tour. So Sally, I think you had heard from them.
Yeah. Well, Jim Cassart said that he's available anytime to give someone a tour. And I had mentioned it to you guys, I think, but some people couldn't do it during the week, of course. So I asked Jim about the weekend, and he said he would totally be willing to give us a tour on the weekend sometime if we can come up with a date that we could all meet. And he's pretty flexible, so I think he'd be able to do it.
Are we thinking like, was this something we would all be interested in doing in like the next month or so? Like something like that. Does that sound reasonable? I don't know what I mean, obviously, like
Yeah,
we can only find time to get together as a group once, it seems like.
right,
So
totally. Uh, I don't know. This month might be kind of busy. This
yeah,
and the beginning of October. Maybe it's better when it's cooler out or something. I don't know.
sure.
I would agree.
yeah,
Yeah, so
me too.
maybe we make maybe a November thing. And so if that's the case, then we don't really have to plan it right now, you know?
I'll keep it on the agenda for the October Energy Committee
Okay.
meeting, and that actually works because there's I'm looking at the calendar. There's one, two, three. There's actually 5 Wednesdays in October, so we'll be meeting on the 15th, and then there's still 2 more Wednesdays before it even becomes November. So that'll probably give us plenty of runway. Hopefully, people will have their calendars for November a little more
Yeah,
firmed up, and then we can pick a time at that point. Does that sound reasonable to everybody?
sounds
That's
good.
good.
All right, cool. Let me just make a note of that. Okay. The next item on the agenda is this was Allison had wanted me to put this on there, Efficiency Vermont button-up campaign. I think there may have been some discussions about that maybe at the Edison County Energy Committee's meeting. I'm not sure, but Allison, did you want to talk about that?
I'm not sure why I asked you to do that right now.
That's all right. I mean, it's probably something we should be plugged into anyways, with the fact that I feel like there hasn't been much from Efficiency Vermont. At least I haven't seen much.
kickoff, their button-up kickoff a couple weeks ago, and it didn't really seem like there's anything earth-shattering or new.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much, same old, same old. So, um, I'm thinking maybe I'll just do a front porch forum post to let people know that, resources are available, and that maybe give them just a reference to the button-up site.
Yeah, I think they're doing their
That's
what are they calling the Energy Wednesdays or something?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they did change those up a little bit. Those aren't going to be just before they've done like heat pumps, and that seemed kind of stale. So I think they've
Yeah.
updated that a little bit. So yeah, maybe I'll just write a front porch forum post with that information in it, with the dates. And I think also, even though they hold them on Wednesdays at noon, I think they're available to go and look at them at any time.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I
Recorded.
saw that they're at noon during the
Yeah.
week. Yeah,
I think they record them so people can watch them at their leisure.
on
So
demand. Yeah, that makes
nice.
sense.
So I'll do a little bit of research and
Okay.
put something together to put on front porch forum.
Um, regarding this, or at least associated with this, is the Energy Committee having their tent on the green for the summer. And so I can't do it for the last 2 weeks. And I told, what's her name? That I wasn't going to be able to do it anymore. So we're just done for the summer for doing that tent. And basically that was kind of like button up, it's like having all the information there from whatever.
Yeah.
So
And I
people,
think that makes sense that like to like do that during the summer too is like to sort of like ramp up so that people are thinking about it. I feel like when you do it now, I mean I'm already like going outside and it's like 45 degrees in the morning. I'm already feeling it a little. So I think it's good to like the way that to try to do that, during the farmers market. I think that's helpful. But yeah, I think it makes sense to do it that way. To have done it that way, let me put it that way.
yeah. Um, I think that we need to have more going on next year on it instead of just that button-uppy stuff. I mean, the little trolleys were fun, and I finally got some cards on thermal energy networks, but it was a little bit boring. I ended up having some good conversations with neighbors and stuff like that, but we might need to get creative if we're going to do that next year.
I think part of that too, the tricky part was like I feel like we had so much going on. We had so with MERP and the EV chargers, there was a lot of like stuff we were doing like that wasn't public facing necessarily. That wasn't like an
That's true.
event that we were planning or some sort of like thing we can show people.
Yeah.
And you know, that sort of feeds into like, well, if we're doing a public facing thing, we can talk about MERP, but that's not a tangible sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But I agree.
I mean, we've done a ton through the years, so it's not like we haven't done anything. But it'll be cool to just see what our next things are as we come along. I mean, it's going to be fun to talk about the MERP thing as it unfolds.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
the
agree.
building and whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, won't we have, a little bit of progress to talk about next year?
We
Yeah.
better.
Yeah,
We have to.
yeah, but even, just, I don't know if
The
there's
funding runs
plans
out.
or anything like that. Just thinking in terms of visuals, that might draw people to the tent, and, folks may have heard tangentially that things are changing in Holly Hall or the library, but maybe they have something tangible to hold or look at, and have a conversation about. Could be good, next year at this time.
Um, Sally and I were talking about getting some visuals for the Addison County Energy Fair, but after talking to Ian, there weren't really any like the graphics and visuals for the MERP that the architect had presented so far to the committee of people that have been on these meetings hadn't been sent to the town. So it didn't seem like it was the right thing to do to have
Oh, yeah.
A
some
bootleg.
graphics that people from the town would go, what? I mean,
This is
that the select board hadn't seen, I should say,
Yeah.
not just the town, but select board.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but
not to
I think
mention,
we will get that. I mean, we will have something to show, I think, in the next few months, I believe. Once I think that, I'm not really sure when the architect is going to go and talk to or if that's going to be on the agenda of a future select board meeting or not. I haven't seen anything about it or heard anything about that yet, but I think once that happens, whatever they present, it would probably be good to get some actual graphics that we
mhm.
can maybe print up or something, or
Maybe put a front porch forum thing out to the town so they get to hear,
Yeah, that's a great idea.
you know?
Yeah. Here's a few renderings of what Holly Hall, something like that,
Yeah, everyone's connected to Holly Hall in Bristol, so
Yep.
they'd be interested.
Yep.
Once demolition starts and so on, we could
Oh, yeah.
maybe do a photo, a photo a day or something and make something out of it.
Everybody loves a construction progress photo.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
especially if you can do it really cool where you can make like you can have it play like a movie over time, the same shot and watch it change. So
Oh, that's
it's a cool
cool.
idea. Yeah,
It could
set that
inspire
up.
the
Go
contractors
ahead, set
to
that
keep
up.
it moving too.
that's right. That's always the toughest part, Sally. Um, okay, anything else on button up or I think it's just kind of I think it sounds like Allison will put something together and yeah, just in general a note for everybody to think about visuals and things we could do for the next year for the farmers market. I think that makes sense. Um okay, next item, the next two items I was not present at, but the first one is the Addison County Energy Fair. How did that go for those who were there? I know it was a really, really bad weather day,
It was a
so
wet
Yep.
day.
yeah, that
It
was a
was a wet
terrible
day.
day. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Some of those flyers had to get thrown away after that.
I'll just go first. So Allison and Sally and I were there, and Richard came. So the four of us were there, and we vastly outnumbered any people that were
Yeah.
showed up at the table. I think because we were kind of standing around, it looked like we were meeting with the public, but it was just us. But we did have a few people come and get a heads up on what our committee does, and we more or less directed them to go to the Efficiency Vermont tent because they had like everything there, and they had, we had mostly, duplicate stuff, so we just told them to go over there. So hopefully we directed a lot of people over there. We didn't get as many people talking to us, but we had some pretty interesting conversations, and it was besides the weather, it was it was nice that we got out in front of the public, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard to show off the new T-shirts.
Everybody's
Well,
wearing a rain jacket.
yeah, we
Uh,
Everybody that saw them loved them. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what matters. We got to wear them around town now.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe you use it
Does
to
that
raise
give us a
funds.
rest power?
I don't know about
for
that.
energy criminals.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I just want to say thanks for those who did attend and kind of man the fort there. That was I personally appreciate that because I wasn't able to make it, but
Yeah.
I know it was a good. I mean, I think it's a good. I think if nothing else, it's a good first connection with Virgins and Ferrisburg and maybe the Addison County Energy Fair happens on the Bristol Town Green in the future or something like that. So, just as a sort of institutional building block, I always feel like we're these little energy committees and we're like these little islands, but we're surrounded by other little islands and we're all sort of like we all want the same thing. So any sort of ability to even just like connect with each other, not even necessarily connect with just like anybody, but just like with the other energy committees and the other groups that are committed to some of the stuff that we do or that we want to see done too, is helpful. So that's my sort of like silver lining on a cloud, to use an
Mhm.
analogy.
Yeah.
I did get a chance to talk to Dwight. I can't remember his last name, the weatherization head of CVOEO, and
DaCosta?
DaCosta, yeah. And he was very up for maybe us inviting some other energy committees, New Haven, Starksboro, Virgin, so on, our area ones, to uh, an hour-long meeting, maybe at Holly Hall, so that he can bring people up to date on the weatherization programs
Mm,
that are being
yeah,
conducted.
yeah.
We did that a long time ago, but he said things have changed.
Yeah.
So we may want to put that on the agenda maybe for next time. Be a good
Um,
winter thing.
would that be, yeah, I was just gonna say, that sounds like a November, December
Hmm.
thing where people are just starting to get chilled and wanting to learn more.
Yep,
That sounds really good.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Do we have contact information for
I
Dwight?
do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Would it make sense to make that a public meeting?
Oh, yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I meant.
yeah,
That's what I thought.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I thought it was just the energy committees.
No,
No,
we used to do it with Matt Sharp and
Oh,
we'd
okay.
get a lot of people into the Holly Hall.
We did a lot. I mean, honestly, last year at Howden Hall in the basement when we built the box fan thing, and
Oh,
well, that
God,
was
that was
the
great.
kitschy thing at the end, but that was good. I was surprised at how many people were there. So I think
Yeah,
that sort of type of thing in the wintertime seems like it really gets people
yeah,
interested. So
yeah.
I think
yeah.
it's a great idea.
Think more about weatherization in November than you do in July.
Yes, that's right. Agreed.
And who knows, maybe even, well, it would be great to have DeCosta come and maybe
That's the
Matt
point.
too sometime.
Yeah, he said he's willing to come and do it.
Okay, we just need to organize it and give him a call or
Yeah,
see when he can do it.
yeah.
Yep,
That's great.
that's a great idea.
I think, the value of the energy fair was probably mostly for the participants to
Yeah,
network. Sally had
definitely.
said that before, and it's
Yeah,
true.
Mhm.
yeah.
I think that's a great segue into the other big networking opportunity that happened that I completely missed because I don't know how to read my own calendar. The Addison County Energy Committee's meeting, which was at the ACRPC in August.
Oh, yeah.
I think there were several of you there. I was not one of them. And so sorry about that. But for those who were there, how did that go? What was the turnout like?
Um, was that I just went to something there
We
and
all,
it was, but I'm
you
thinking,
and
was it something else that I went to? You were there,
you
weren't
and
you, right?
you and Allison and I drove down.
Yeah.
They
Was
had
okay.
dinner,
Yeah.
Forrest Pizza,
Yeah.
but I can't remember anything that went on.
I think
I
there
know.
was about maybe 15 or 20 people from all over. And
Yeah.
they gave a presentation and then, each of us kind of talked about what we had done. Each of the energy committees that were there kind
Yeah.
of gave an overview of what, the projects that we had worked on. And I think we kind of agreed that a meeting like that is really helpful for all of us because we get to share a lot of information. Middlebury had a pretty nice handout. Their representative was going to their select board meeting right after, and they had a pretty nice summary of all the things that they were doing. And I think, we were like, oh, that, they were thinking about, like doing an inventory of all the town vehicles and all the town buildings and, where they were at as far as energy efficiency with all that stuff. And, we were all like, oh, that would be a really cool idea. And especially, kind of looking forward to if we build a new municipal, building for our trucks and stuff, that maybe we could have a little bit of input into how that building is built,
Mm.
just so I think there were some ideas that came out of that I thought were kind of interesting that maybe we just hadn't thought of, or hadn't had the bandwidth to do anything about. So it was good. To me, it was good from that point of view, just to be able to see what other people are doing.
Yep.
And then there was a woman there I think she was from Bridport. She was like, she wasn't on, they don't have an energy committee, but she worked in like their town office, and
Mm.
they're actually working on a project to get some sort of housing project maybe kicked off, and talking about how they have like they're a farm community, they don't have a lot of money, and they also don't have a lot of people who are really have much motivation to do anything differently than they've already done. But she's trying to make inroads, and I think that was kind of cool to hear too. So
Yeah.
it was good. I thought it was good just to hear other people's perspectives and what they're doing, and we could share what we're doing. And the people from Waybridge were very jealous because we got a MERP grant. They didn't. Stuff like that.
Mhm.
And we did say that once we get the work done at Holly Hall, we talked about having a big open house so people can see it. And I think that'll be a cool thing for us to do.
Yeah, that should be quite a bash, I think,
I would
when
think
it
so.
happens.
Yeah.
Maybe a Holly Hall and Library.
Yeah, like tour, like walking tour kind of thing, right?
Yeah, with refreshments and
Yeah.
clowns and all kinds of things.
Big party.
Hey, we could get Ben to do some of his acts.
Oh my gosh.
You
We
have a
get we got
clown
we gotta get
job.
just blow right through that. Let's just keep moving. Keep this moving, people. It's already 7:30.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that update,
There are
Allison.
probably a lot of unemployed clowns out there that need a
Are you,
job.
is that a, are you trying to say something, Dave? No, never mind. Never mind. I have a job. Okay. Let's see. The next couple things are kind of old business that have been on here for a little while. The first one is the town energy plan grant. So if we remember, that one is being administered by the ACRPC. I think Julian is I don't know if I don't know if ACRPC was like fully contracted to administer it, or if that was still happening when we met in August, but I haven't seen any updates on it. Other than there was that survey. I don't know if there's been a kickoff meeting. I haven't seen any communication from Julian about it. I probably honestly, I know Julian's really, really busy, but I'll follow up with him and see where they're at with that, because I feel like we haven't had any updates in a little while there. So unless anybody else has heard anything about that, I have not.
I haven't heard anything about it, but I was wondering if people on the committee have filled out the survey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Richard has. So
I haven't. I need to. I haven't,
Yeah.
but I need to do that.
it's a good thing to. I don't know what kind of input they're getting from, the public, but it would be good for our committee to weigh in.
Yep. That's a good reminder.
Yeah. It's actually a fun survey if you have a little bit of time,
Mhm.
maybe a lot of time.
Yeah,
It-
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I really did.
I always
enjoyed
feel
it.
very much, at least for me, like inspired after our monthly meetings. Like I feel like after this, I'm gonna want to just go fill it out and just like write everything that's in my head. Like just dump
Go
it on
for it.
there, you know?
Go
Yeah.
for it.
That's
Okay, so I'll follow up with Julian on that, and we'll see if where kind of things stand. I'll provide everybody with an update either at the next meeting or before then.
Thank you.
All right. Update on EV chargers. I know we kind of talked about it a little bit. Also, part of this too, I saw, and I think everybody maybe was on the email, but Ian had read the August meeting minutes and had sent us a bit of an update on the EV chargers, most of the things that were in the meeting minutes. And I learned some things from that I was not aware of, which is that the level 3 charger the level 3 grant was essentially the town isn't really involved. Like it's Norwich's project.
Yeah.
And so that explained to me a lot of the sort of slowdown, a gridlock, whatever you want to call it. So it seemed, I've been following up with Barrett occasionally and the Norwich EV occasionally, and I think Ian has too. Kind of usually he and I kind of go back and forth with them. We haven't really heard much, so that kind of explained a lot. I don't know if Richard, was there anything else you wanted to say about the level 3s other than we can't really do anything about it because it's not our grant?
Well, the only thing we can do is rattle Norwich's cage. And I plan to do that. I established a bit of a relationship with them a long time ago, so I've got some names that I can reach out to, and I'll try to do that and just see what's going on. But it did kick my inquiry did kick up a bit the level 2 charger issue.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
we got an inquiry from a woman named Maddie at Green Mountain Power and the organization that's um, heading up that particular grant, asking us, did we still want to do it? And also suggesting, because we were given $25,000 roughly for a $41,000 project, would we like her help to find maybe another vendor that might be able to uh, be a little quicker? This is another Norwich project, and maybe cut the costs. So I asked Ian about that. Do we want to go ahead with that since the level 3s are so spotty right now?
Mhm.
And moving back, that it's something that maybe they should consider. And so the question is where? Because the Norwich bid was for some spaces right at the southeast, the northeast corner of the park, essentially across from Holly Hall, more or less.
Yeah,
Um,
right by the electric such and such thing, sort of where that electric pole is.
yeah, but the possibility is diagonally to the other side of the park, where there is also an electric pole, and the possibility of putting them over there. And the select board just has to make up their mind, and whether or not they want to lose 4 spaces to electric chargers.
Yeah,
But
I
we
think
need,
that, I
we
think
need
they
to,
said no before. There was some reason they didn't want it to happen on that north
yeah,
side.
I think they're
And
skeptical. Most of them really don't care very much about the project, but
yeah,
um, I
the
think
cars,
it's a real shame that Bristol has no place to publicly charge.
yeah, that is too bad. I have seen though that the north side gets full with the dentist and the
Yeah.
gym and everything. It's hardly any parking spots over there, it seems like. Whereas on the
Well,
front
if
side,
you,
there are more spots
yeah, I know. There's also, in my mind,
and easier to find. It's right there. You see it.
yeah, it's
You
right
don't have to
out.
go looking around the bend and find how to get onto the backside of the green or anything.
I'll keep pushing Ian, and if we have to talk to the select board, just tell us one way or the other.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to walk from it, okay, then we know.
I think that the town workers like to use those spots closest to the lights there. That's one thing they don't really want it taken up from for their, like
Hearing
town
from the town clerk.
clerk and those guys. They're like, hey, those are our spots,
Well, this is the 21st century. You know, um,
Tell Meredith that.
Sherry,
Well,
yeah,
they just,
come on, Meredith could hike from Ripton.
I know,
You know,
but she likes her space right there. We've
oh
had a
no,
chat.
too bad,
oh no.
too bad, Meredith.
Then one of those near there too, also a handicap space.
Well, we wouldn't be able to take that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
That's
don't
probably
think
over on the
so.
other side. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think there's handicap there.
I think
But yeah,
just move,
I'm,
move it down a little bit.
there is one right on the corner because I've
is there?
parked in it
Oh, yeah,
for my wife.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's So I'll keep on me and then see if we can get a decision.
I mean, I think given the uncertainty around the level 3 project, we can go to the select board and say, hey, this level 3 thing is big giant question mark, and we have an opportunity here for at least something, and we as the energy committee think it's worth pursuing, and we just have to find the right spot. I mean, not doing it because we can't find the right spot. It's just
Yeah.
seems
I mean,
seems like it seems like a hurdle we can cross.
we
Yeah.
already talked about that spot over and over, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was kind of a done deal. We were all set up to do it.
Do we need to make the case for, allowing public charging? I mean, just from an economic standpoint, I think we could, fill up a good slide or two in a presentation if we wanted to do that. We go places and we end up charging, in upstate New York or wherever, and having dinner or whatever and spending money in the local town because we're plugged in for an hour or two.
Yeah.
And I think that probably would be pretty compelling argument right there alone. But like
Yeah.
Richard said, it's 21st century. This is where we're heading. So why not catch that wave as it's building now?
Yeah.
Ben, do you think Bristol Core could put out a questionnaire to the businesses, uh, asking them if they could, from their own standpoint, assess the value of having EV chargers nearby? Because that'd be a powerful
Yes.
argument.
Yeah. I think,
Yes.
and we have to make it clear that the place they could have it would be on the green, pretty much,
Yeah.
because that's where the power can happen and all that. It's not like
Yeah.
it could be in the front of their store,
No, I think that yeah, I think to your point, to both of your points, the idea is can we ask, hey, businesses, if there were 3 EV charging spots on the town green somewhere,
Yep.
give us your
Four,
opinion on
Ben.
that.
4.
4. Okay,
Four.
perfect. 4. If there were 4 EV chargers, what do you think the benefit would be to your business?
Yeah.
Keep it simple. One question, straightforward, bang. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can talk to Courtney about that for sure.
Okay, great.
Go ahead,
Hey,
Jim.
Jim.
Maybe you guys better can clear my mind here. I thought it was all settled that the Wells property was going to be the place for that charger. And the town did not want to put anything on the green or take away parking spaces on the front of the green. And I thought that was all settled. That's where it was going to be, with the walking access through Pomaloo and Walgreens. And the charging station would be in the back side of that lot or on the Mountain Terrace side. Am I wrong on that?
That was for the level 3s, but you bring an interesting point. The level 2s could go there as well.
Interesting.
Does that preclude, but would that preclude the level 3s from ever happening? Like I'm always like would we block ourselves into not having the level 3s when we worked? It seemed like there
Yeah.
was so much momentum for the level 3s up until there wasn't, admittedly. It's a good question. It's a good point. I mean, I think to Jim's point, yeah, that's my understanding of the history of this, is there was kind of 2 competing ideas, and it was like, well, we're going to shelve level 2s by the green because level 3 on the Wells property through Pomerlow was more feasible or more possible and was least disruptive, and for all those other reasons.
Right.
So yes, I think, Jim, you're correct. I think at this point now we're assessing the impact of, it seems like the level 3s are, number one, out of the town's control to actually install, essentially, and are at the sort of the whims of Norwich EV, and they don't seem like they're that interested in moving it forward. Can we try to change that situation? I don't know. I mean, I agree. I think there's probably still going to be resistance to the town green location, but we can come up with something, I would think. I don't know.
I'm gonna try to get hold of Norwich.
Yeah, and there's that angle too. Talk to Norwich and say, hey, what is going on? Like
Yeah.
we've got nothing essentially for months at this point. Like at least level with us. Let's be realistic about what is actually possible. Like, is this even possible anymore? The stringing along with nothing just seems, that's not
And
tenable.
I'm sure they may be strung along with nothing too.
True.
So
yeah,
Yeah, it may not just be them. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we started talking about this when you just moved here, Ben. When was
Correct.
that? That was
I mean, that was like January of 2022, maybe was the
yeah,
first time we went and looked at
yeah,
the crossing across from the post office where the three
yeah.
phase comes across and all that. So, I mean, yeah, this is not I mean, this dynamic of bunch of momentum and then grinds to a stop is been pretty
Boring.
typical.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna try to shake ourselves out of it now. So, yeah, I don't
But
know.
we'll get news of lightning speed with the MERP program, right?
Oh,
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But that's a good question, Jim. Thanks for that. Sorry about that.
I think
Uh,
Jim's paying those guys not to have it done.
no, Jim wouldn't do that. Not Jim. He wouldn't do that.
Good one, Charlie.
All right. What is the next item on the agenda here? Oh yeah, update on MERP. The only thing I saw in the last month was from Ian in that sort of summary from the last meeting minutes where he said that there was a kickoff or maybe there was two meetings. I don't know. But he also said that if anyone wants access to Basecamp, he will add you just have to reach out to him. I think, and I talked to him in person the other day and he was like, yeah, I didn't really want to add everybody and have it be like a nuisance if people didn't weren't interested. But I think with this group, if there's anybody who's not already on Basecamp that wants to kind of follow the project, just reach out to Ian. But in terms of specific details on MERP, I don't know if anybody knows anything else than that other than that.
uh, let's see. A couple things have happened. There was, I don't know if I would call it a kickoff meeting. It was sort of what would you call it, Alice?
I don't know. I didn't go, so I think
Well,
I must have been busy or something. I think,
it was
yeah,
uh, it was just kind of an update of
yeah.
where they were, and they showed a couple of drawings, and we talked about the wall assembly mostly because it's still kind of in question. Uh, at that time, they hadn't done any exploration of the actual wall, like put a hole in the wall, see what's back there. But we mentioned or I mentioned that you could get to the under the stage, you could see, there's no plaster there, but you can see the studs and you can see the sheathing and the brick behind it, blah, blah, blah. So they probably did that. I think they did that. And there was another place in the balcony they could do that too. So where the addition was put on to the building. So so then there was this question about the MERP report said that there should be some hydrothermal analysis of the wall, so you're not over insulating it and causing a condensation problem. And so they asked me if I had, I guess they were having a problem getting people or getting someone with that expertise. So I suggested a couple of firms in Boston that I knew, and I know they reached out to a couple of those, and then a vendor who does these kinds of has these kinds of materials, kind of passive house materials and stuff that sometimes they'll do that for free. So they were hanging their hat on that, and that didn't really happen. It didn't pan out. So the last correspondence was that they had hired Nate Gusikoff, who's a building envelope specialist. And he was saying, yeah, it would be great to have that data, but I don't know if it's necessary. Sometimes you don't know if it's correct or not. And I wrote back and I said, no, no, we need it. You know, having no data at all, and just like, it seems like we'd be flying blind. And I didn't even know when they said sometimes they're incorrect. How would you know it's incorrect? It's a computer program. So like, you know, it's incorrect. So well, why? Or how do you know it? So I haven't heard anything back about that, but trying to insist on having this done. I believe they may be thinking it's a cost issue. I think that firm one of the firms in Boston, I think it was like $4,000 or something, which I didn't
How
think
much?
was that big deal, but because they were
How
going
much?
to do multiple, you know, analyses. What if you, like the front wall, sorry to get into the weeds here, but the wall that faces north that, you know, where the main door is, there's all sorts of issues there. There's the big window, arched window, and the town is reluctant to take off the trim and do that project because of the intricacies of the actual window.
Mhm.
And they're saying, maybe we don't have to do that. And also there's the stair there. So if you build in, you know, with this, like we're
Yeah.
going to do in the main hall, there might be an issue with the width of the stair. And so, so they said, well, maybe we won't do that wall and we'll just fill it with cellulose. Well, that, you know, that's what, you know, Matt Sharp said we should do in the first place, but we don't know that's the right thing to do. I mean, we may be causing a problem. I guess there was I'm trying to remember what town it was that did this and had a problem with moisture. They over insulated the wall.
Even on the inside though, right, like along the stairs on the inside?
Well, I'm saying this other project was in another town.
Okay, yeah.
Where this was an issue. But on Holly Hall, they're saying, you know, we don't want to change that wall. We just want to fill it with insulation. They put holes in the wall, plaster, and fill it with insulation.
Yeah.
But we really need to have that analyzed to find out where moisture might condense potentially against a cold brick.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's no conclusive approach yet on that. The other thing they did is they issued the mechanical, basically a basis of design, which is really like, it's not a plan. It doesn't say like this duct goes here, and it's kind of an approach. And I have not read it yet. I just printed it out. I think they sent it a couple days ago. Allison, you got that too, right?
Yeah, I started looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Allison and I will look at it, and if anyone else wants to look at it, we can certainly forward it to you. And then there's one for the library as well, which I'm kind of doing as well, just looking at it. But I know that's not really the MERP project, but we seem to be assisting a little bit on the library as well. There was also an interesting thing. There's a grant that Frida found from the town that is trying to remember what its focus is, but basically it's
Historic preservation, wasn't it?
Oh, correct. And she wants to take the windows out of the main project, the MERP project. And this is there's like a exterior storm window that would be put on the historic windows. And she wants to see if she can get that money. I think it's up to $40,000. It's a matching grant though. So
Yeah, so she could get 20 and then the town has to kick in 20. Yep.
I think the line item is like 38,000, but you know, it's gonna be 40 for sure. You never know, you know, in the end, but especially if it's pulled out of a project, you know, that it's got a lot of other administrative stuff. And then
Oh, boy.
you having us on its own, it's probably gonna be more 40, like 40. So anyway, that's kind of hopeful. If we can get that, that's 40,000 more dollars that the town doesn't have to spend.
Is that for Holly Hall?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
So my big question still, David, is, so we got a $325,000 grant, right? We know how much they've already spent, and, the proposal was like upwards of like 575 or something. We're getting, I mean, we're what? 6 months away from starting, less than 6 months away from starting. And has the town even said, we're gonna be able to fund the bigger gap? I mean, the gap, or, I mean, when do
I
we
think
get to that point? Because it would really stink to lose this money.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Ian had indicated the town was up for using the capital funds to make up the
Okay,
shortfall. But they, like this grant that I just mentioned,
mhm.
that would be welcome news to the town, obviously, because that's probably going to wipe out the capital fund.
Yeah,
I
totally.
don't exactly don't know how much is in there, but
Right.
that's a pretty big chunk of money, almost $200,000 or more, actually.
It's more closer to 3, probably.
Yeah, one of the things that I've been learning um, in my other activities is everybody is really on pins and needles about further federal cuts. And that's the kind of thing that could impact right down to the town.
Mhm.
Yep.
And so the quicker this thing gets going
yeah,
and shovels get in the ground, the better, because
yeah.
it's pretty hard to pull it back if it's, underway, though that's been done too.
Yeah, but we can't start, the plan is to start the day after town meeting day, because they can't start
Right.
it before that because
Right.
they use that building.
Well, that's coming up.
Oh, I know. Like I said, it's about 6 months away.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a meeting with one of Peter Welsh's staffers on another issue, and he said they are just um, really nervous about what more might be coming in terms of pullbacks. And, it's very uncertain right now.
Yep.
I just hope, I mean, we know that. I just hope that the town understands that, and
Mhm.
doesn't fritter time away.
Mhm.
And the people who are working on this.
Well, I know if there's any much more to say than that.
Yeah.
But thank you, David, for the update. That's good. I'm glad to hear there's progress going. There is some progress, and they are making drawings, and that they're in the design phase. So that's good, right? That's more than we knew last time we were meeting, right? So I guess that's a benefit. Okay, the last item on the agenda is just other business. So is there anything we didn't cover that anybody wants to talk about? I know we added those couple new items and talked at the top, but if there's anything else, now's the time. Seen a lot of nothing. Okay. Well, our next meeting, like I said earlier, is the 15th of October. And if we can all come with our November schedules handy so that we can plan our all earth renewables site visit, that'd be great. And then yeah, I think going forward, I got a lot going on here. So thanks everybody for your time and your attention. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see everybody at the next meeting. We're good to
Thanks so
adjourn.
much, Ben.
Thank you
Oh,
all.
I'll send out meeting minutes as always.
All
Thanks.
right, great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Bye.